Actually, lying down on the ground like this is really great if you're just feeling like super overwhelmed. You might actually just like fall asleep here. Okay, let me start the video.
So in this video, I'm going to talk about not postponing your joy or not postponing your happiness, and talk about where this model comes from. And then I'm also going to talk about how denying yourself can cause problems in life. So I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Actually, I don't think it's just Black families that do this. And I know it's definitely not POC families. But maybe you come from, maybe it's a class thing, actually. I don't know if it is. I'm curious. I'm actually very curious. Once I explain the video, let me know in a comment below if you do this or if your family does this. In my family, we had a cupboard that had all of our china in it, right? So very fancy cutlery and crockery. And we would only use that crockery and cutlery for a guest or for around Christmas time. So Christmas time, usually family came over and would open that cupboard and would use the things in there. And I think it's really, really important. Wow. Basically, what I want to say is don't postpone your joy. Don't put your happiness off. I think thinking about my family and thinking about this cupboard that we had, and I know so many Black families I know we do this, I know that we all have a cupboard of things, so what's your cupboard of things? What are the things that you are postponing, that you are keeping for a later date, sometime in the future, that you are going to open when something happens? Like, oh my God, when I finally get that promotion, I'm gonna book a trip to the Seychelles, or I'm gonna book a trip to Mauritius. What are those things that you've kind of kept in a cupboard for later? What is the happiness, the joy that you've kept in a cupboard for later? It's really about living in the present moment. It's about seeing yourself as worthy to have joy now, to have happiness now. You're constantly running after happiness. Happiness is always set for a future date. It's never now. It's always out of your grip, just out of your grip, right? And I think what that leads to is it can lead to excess and to having crises later on in life, because you're denying yourself. And I think when you deny yourself constantly, it ends up leading to it ends up coming in different, it comes up, it explodes. It's bound to explode in different ways in life. Whenever you try to kind of tamper down on something, it ends up exploding in a lot of negative ways. I really think it's important to ask yourself, why am I postponing this? Why am I postponing getting this? Why am I postponing getting this? Why am I postponing doing this? Why am I postponing rewarding myself, right? I'm not talking about delaying gratification. I'm talking about denying yourself. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about denying yourself of good things. Ask yourself that question. And if the answer is, well, I'm denying myself, if intrinsically at the core, you're denying yourself because you don't feel worthy, then you really need to rethink that and really process that. Take time to process that, rather than, denying yourself, and then eventually it will come up as a crisis in your life. It will explode as some kind of a crisis in your life. I mean, you can see, and I'm going to use the church as an example, because it happens a lot in religious organizations and religious circles. So it's really important. Just think through what I'm saying. Make sure that you are not denying yourself because you don't feel worthy. You are worthy as a human being. And yeah, I hope that this was useful. I will catch you again on the flip side as usual. Peace.